I started out with an aisle seat, but after a friendly request, I got a window seat, which was much nicer. As usual, this included the pre-flight champagne, slippers, pajamas, amenity kit, and headphones, which I'm not even sure I used. I might have. There's some nice storage space with a hanger. The remote control comes in handy when you're far from your TV. Seat control is mainly done with the dial, although there are some other cryptic controls on there. Yeah, I don't know what this means, I guess. I know what that one means. Inside the storage, there was place to store my laptop, which was nice. Yeah, plenty of room. I didn't really need a lot of it. I have once again invested in an experience. This is British Airways from Seattle to London and first class, in case that's not obvious yet. But yeah, I've done this a couple times before, and this is the third time, and soon will be maybe the fourth time. But after that point, we'll kind of have to see. But I would say this is a very nice experience. They're very friendly. It's roomy. I got lucky. Always ask questions and see if you can get a better experience, because I had a aisle seat, and luckily it turns out there was an opening for a window seat, so I got to upgrade there, so I'll actually be able to get some footage from takeoff and landing and somewhere in the air over our world, I guess. But it's been very nice. I highly recommend it. It's a good investment, although it's not cheap because of the surcharges. So you use your miles, but you still got to pay a price. I got my amenity kit. I've got headphones. I got pajamas. I got slippers. I got. I mean, who could ask for anything more? I got everything but the girl, right? But yeah, so this is a really nice space, and I like it. It doesn't get too private, but it still works really well. So highly recommend checking it out. British Airways, first class, international, to London. Before even taking off, you'll have your menu. You have an amenity kit and a little tab so they know it's been opened. Same thing with the headphones. Speaking of which, they're okay. I mean, I think that the noise canceling and the fit, not probably the best in the world. They're okay. I mean, they work, and they've got, of course, that little proprietary plug that airplanes have had since a long time. Annoying. The screen, I use my hand because you can kind of see it's not terribly big. Business class might actually be bigger, but it works okay. Little buttons, and yeah, it's okay. Just needs upgrading. Two windows, which are nice. And the little footrest, which you can lower at any time you like. Maybe not for takeoff, but put your feet up there, relax. And when you're done, just move it back up, or do it any time. Have a friend over. Hot wet towel, one of my favorite things. And these are actually kind of limited and hard to use. So in another minute or so, we'll be heading up into the air and taking off up to 35,000 feet. This is a 777-200. A jet I've been on many times before, but I always like it. It's very comfortable, it's very smooth, not usually a lot of turbulence, and should be a very quick flight, even though it's 9 hours or so. It'll go by fast. I sometimes record a takeoff, but really this is something you can see from economy, premium, business class, so it's really not that vital to get a takeoff, but still, I'm here. And now we've taken off from Seattle, and it's actually not raining, so that's kind of a bonus. We got some clouds in the air. It's pleasant. And I'll enjoy my time heading up in the air, wait for a meal service to start, which is not too far away. You can kind of tell how old this seat is by these old RGB plugs from the late 90s perhaps, and USB, although not C. I like their menus, lots of options. I usually can only have one or two before I get full, but at least they put some variety on there. I didn't actually try any of the cheese, kind of wish I had, but I did get into the desserts. They were good. It didn't take me long to have a glass of wine, and my appetizers were presented in a very nice way. They do a great job. No complaints at all with the appetizers. The service is just impeccable. So with real silverware and real china or dishware, whatever you call it, I was able to enjoy my nice appetizers with my wine. And I gotta say, it's a great experience, and it's hard to believe I'm on an airplane at this point. It's just, you can kind of see how smooth the flight is as well. I'm always amazed at how good the wines are and how large the pours are. These are only probably $20 to $30 bottles of wine, but the ones they pick are just really nice and go well when up in the air. So next they set the table for you. They give you salt and pepper and oil and bread and everything. It's just a really nice arrangement.
Well, I have a 2017 French wine. Gonna be trying out. Yeah, looks good. I've already sampled it. Tasted so good so far. So let's try it out and see how we'd like it. Notably, your senses are diminished when you're up at 30,000, 35,000 feet. So I always try to keep that in mind. Okay, next part of my meal is going to be just bread, a little bit of a roll. Got some butter, salt, pepper, olive oil, water, real silverware, real china, whatever you want to call it. But it's a very nice setup. It's very professional. It just feels like you're at a restaurant, which is a good thing. Bread is actually warm inside. Nice.
Normally I don't eat a lot of bread, you know, the whole keto carb thing, but this is a special occasion, so I at least had to try the roll and see how it was. And I gotta say, it was pretty good.
The roll is what you'd expect. A roll. It tastes like a roll, but not a bad roll.
Now, while it is very roomy, I'm using the wide-angle lens here, so it's not quite that roomy, but it's still pretty nice. Normally, I think the portion would be much bigger, but I specifically asked for a very small sample of the dish. I wanted to try the tomato soup. Real tomatoes! It was a very tasty dish, but again, it's tomato soup. You know, I mean, there's only so much you can do with tomato soup. The bathrooms they're nothing to write home about, but they do have plenty of room, definitely bigger than economy. No showers, of course. This isn't Etihad or anything special, but they get the job done. It's a bathroom, you know, fine. Little products, I don't really use them much aside from the soap, but nice to have. For the main course, I chose the fish, although I gotta say the vegetables and potatoes were actually much better. The fish, it was alright. The dessert was chocolate with chocolate. Very good. And if you ask, they will deliver, so I got the ice cream with the cream and the berries, and yeah, it was tasty. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with something like that. Lots of sugar.
One of the fun parts is when they offer to turn your seat into a bed, which, you know, you just have to twist the dial. But so I basically go and use the loo for a while. I come back and my seat is turned into a bed automatically. So it's just kind of a nice touch. I should have brought my pajamas because then I could have ready to go to sleep. Although it's still so early, it's probably like 6 o'clock back home. But that's fine. I don't know. It's just the time zones are going to make things a little wonky for a while.
And finally, the part that you're really paying for. The seat becomes a bed. I went to the loo, got back, and my seat was a bed. And yeah, it's very nice. This is what it's all about. Probably going to sleep till they land. And this may help give a better idea on how big it is, how nice it is. I'm in the front of the plane, really. It's just very comfortable, and I'm ready to go to bed. As much as I love first class, it's fun to walk through the business class and just kind of see, you know, what it's like, and it's actually very nice, really nice. Now, premium economy, they definitely stack more seats. Actually, that might be economy, but...
So when it comes to first class or business class, this is pretty much the coup de grace. Your seat turns into a bed and you can go to sleep just like you're at home, tucked into your own bed with your own covers and blanket and pillow and pajamas. I did not get into my pajamas yet. I might still, but I don't know. It kind of seems unnecessary. I'd rather just sleep in my briefs, but I'm not sure that would be appropriate, so we're not going to do that, but that would be nice. So yeah, I am totally stretched out. I have 100% leg room, and it's very nice. I did notice that business class has a pretty good arrangement as well, so they're both great options. Business class has fewer miles required, but the same price, so kind of think about that, but the service has been excellent, so I can't complain. I just have a little more wine left. I might order a Highland Sling just for fun, but we'll see. I could sleep, I could stay up, but it's nice to have options, so cheers.
When you're finally in bed, then it's time, if you want to watch TV, to use that remote control because the screen is way too far away. So you have to kind of get to know the controls and the buttons and see what they got. I spend some time looking at the flight map. I like to see where I'm at and hopefully not too far along because I want to enjoy this as long as possible. The entertainment is okay these days since we have, iPads and tablets. It's really hard to compete with that because you can download whatever you want. So a decent selection, but I wasn't blown away. It's okay. They do tend to give you like 3 episodes of a series, kind of a sampler, a teaser. Probably a good deal with those networks, so they get you hooked on a particular show, but you can't binge through the entire show. So a good idea. I did watch some Mayor of Kingstown. I like that show. One limitation is because you can't get your phone too close to the window, you can't actually see out it very well. It's a complicated thing, so you kind of get the idea what's out there. Anyway, I finally did sleep for several hours. I woke up and ordered breakfast, so it was all right. Yeah, the breakfast wasn't as good as the dinner. I did get a coffee or cappuccino or some frothy drink, and it was okay. Not spectacular, but okay. And I was happy to see that my view had become England, London. Yeah, almost there. Oh, I think that's Heathrow Airport before my eyes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes flying in you can see the London Eye and the Parliament, Big Ben, and all that great stuff. And other times you get to see, well, the Thames only or other things. You can't go wrong. It's London, but sometimes they're definitely better than others. Anyway, we're here, so cheers.